Salutations everyone, my name is Drew, and today I'm going to talk to you about interviews, because I have one coming up in the next few hours. Currently, as I said before, in my previous vlogs, I do have a job right now, a day job, but it's part-time. And the reason why I'm holding on to that position, or that I held on to that position, is because it pertains to the field that I want to get in, and it kind of worked out with the schedule that I had as a post-bac student. But now that I have the time before I apply for graduate school, I think it's a wise decision for me to at least get a full-time position that can allow me to earn more money while still helping me grow and get closer to the field that I want to get into, but mostly to help others in the process. Because I don't know if I ever explained this to you, but I have experience working with kids with high and low functioning autism. And the way that I did that was through ABA therapy. And this is exactly the same position that I'm going to be interviewing for in the next few hours. Like right now, it's 10:50. My interview is at 2 o'clock. So I just felt like this is like a very particular topic to talk about, just because it's something that most people trying to get into workforce dread. It's one of those things where it scares the living crap out of like everybody. Personally, for me, I'm really nervous when it comes to interviews. I think it's because to me, the interview acts as a filter on whether or not you can obtain your personal goals. And what I mean by that is that whatever job that you're trying to pursue, there has to be a reason why you're getting into that job in the first place, or why you want to get that job in the first place. And I've had a lot of jobs like before I moved to Oregon, and most of them consisted of research positions. And over the years, applying for these jobs, it helped me gain a lot of valuable practice that I can use now for this upcoming interview to kind of keep my head cool and hopefully take my time whenever I answer some of the questions that they have for me. I'm feeling prepared because I already have an idea of what they're going to ask me, only because I already had experience going into this particular field before. So I have a good guess of like what kind of questions and what kind of scenarios that they're going to be putting in front of me, and I'm going to have to do the best to my ability to answer what they want to hear. Right now I'm just trying to relax as much as possible before I head out. I have my blueberry shake here. I had a good night's rest, and these are some things that you should do when going to an interview. Like one, just like get a good night's sleep. Like you don't want to be tired the next day or the day that you have an interview and you're expected to be like at a tip-top shape. You're just not going to be fully there of like what's going on. So again, just have a good night's sleep. Number two, have a good breakfast. Have a good clean breakfast, because you don't want to feel heavy eating like, I don't know, a country fried steak right before you go into an interview. That's the reason why with this shake that I made, it's mostly consisting of blueberries, almond milk, and peanut butter. Now I know that combination is a little weird, but I personally like it. You can judge me all you want, but I'm still going to enjoy this just because it kind of gives me the antioxidants and the nutrients that I need to get my day started. So, and another thing to do, prepare for the questions that the interviewers would potentially ask you. And personally for me, the best way that I did that was go on Google, type in frequently asked questions for job interviews, and you're going to get a whole list. One of the main questions that they ask you is like, how would you describe yourself? And a lot of people get distracted by that question because they don't know how much they need to say or where they should begin. And for me, I just keep it very simple. Everything that kind of comes to mind, I just say. It's like, okay, it's like if I want to talk about all my research experience, I start from there. And then I talk about all my research experience going up all the way to the present. And I don't know, there's just like a lot to think about right now. But at the same time, I shouldn't, because I need to keep a level head. So again, I have a few more hours to kill. I'm just going to try to relax. If any other thought comes to mind, I'm going to go ahead and record that too. But for right now, I just want to kind of do my own thing. So this is what I'm probably going to be wearing for my interview. But I haven't put on a tie yet. I wanted to also show you how to tie a tie, and also to talk to you about how I think that like a first impression is really important when going into a job interview. And so you always want to make sure that you have a very ironed out shirt, ironed out pants, and make sure that you look clean. Make sure that you look freshened up. Because when the interviewers see you, like they're probably going to be making their first judgments of you right as soon as you walk into that door. Well, I'm going to go ahead and start putting on my tie, and hopefully you like how it looks. All right, let's see what happens. On my way to my interview, I'm nervous. I mean, I've had like interviews before, but I don't know why today it feels a little bit different. But I mean, I'm just gonna have to wait and see what happens. I mean, I prepared as much as I possibly could. Went online, took a look at a few of the potential questions that they might ask me. Ate a good breakfast, slept well last night. I mean, I feel prepared, but I have the feeling where I have like butterflies in my stomach. And normally, like during job interviews, even my grad school interview this last time, yeah, I felt confident. I felt prepared, like more prepared than as like I do now. However, yeah, today's just slightly different, but I mean, maybe it's just nerves. So I just got into the complex, so hopefully, well, I don't know. Just wish me luck. Alright, so I just got done with my interview, and I don't think it went all that bad. It was actually quite entertaining, because there was 2 staff members that interviewed me. And one of them was the executive director, and also the other one was the clinical director. And both of them were very sociable. They were very nice and easy to talk to. It went pretty well. I do feel like that, like a lot of the questions that I asked, they were able to give me pretty detailed feedback. And in terms of like the questions that they asked me, it was very straightforward. They weren't trying to throw any curveballs at me. I felt pretty comfortable throughout the entire interview. And the interview, it lasted for a good hour because we just kept on talking. There was a good portion of the interview where he was just talking about logistics, about like how the facility was opened, as like how the whole company started, and just a lot of the things that these directors like expect from their employees. Yeah, I mean, I don't know like what else to say. It's like except it's like hopefully hear back within a few weeks, and hopefully with a new job. So I'm back from my interview, and I gave myself a few hours to just think about what happened throughout the whole process. And one of the thoughts I had from looking back at the whole experience was that I really didn't know what to expect from the interview. I mean, I did have a lot of experience before job interviews, but every single one had a different process on how the interview would go. And some of them, before were group interviews, candidates would be interviewed in the same room as you were in while being interviewed, and also one-on-ones. And I feel like I've been through a lot of these kinds of different scenarios. So I had an idea of what to expect, but I wasn't really sure which environment I was going to get. And so for the interview today, it started off with meeting the executive director right at the front door. She greeted me, in which she told me to wait for a few minutes to get a tour of the facility. Then I would be given the interview portion. When she told me to sit down while she got everything ready, she did leave me in the front waiting room where they had a wall of all the pictures of the staff members. I think this is great for me because it helped me get a sense of who I would potentially be working with. It also helped taking a tour too, because it helped me get situated, and I was able to see each setting that I would potentially be working with, the different functions of each room, and the interactions of the other staff since they were there and working. So for the interview process, I sat down with the executive director and the clinical director. I asked right away what kind of person that they're looking for the job, and they were able to list out characteristics of who would be ideal. I kept that in mind because I then thought of instances in my life that exemplified those traits. And I was able to share those with the interviewers. It went back and forth with questions I had along with questions and scenarios they wanted to ask me about, and the whole process took an hour long. They said I would potentially be starting, if hired, in the beginning of July, and they would let me hear back from the interviewing process in a few weeks from now. So I'm waiting, but at the same time, I'm still staying productive, hence the vlog. And I'm also keeping tabs on other jobs that are out there. It doesn't hurt to look and always have a few questions in case plan A doesn't work. And I also found out that today or tonight that I'll be going out for line dancing with a few of my classmates and their friends. So I'll finish the vlog as soon as I get home after I'm done line dancing. I just feel like that this is going to be a nice little break after going through the whole interviewing process. So talk to you soon. Hey guys, so I'm back from line dancing. It was a lot of fun, and I was just able to unwind, which was something that I probably needed after stressing myself out from the interviews. So it's actually really late already. It's almost close to 12 o'clock. I'm gonna leave it at that. It was just like a whole day, half of the day just to kind of prep for the interview and do the interview process, which lasted for an hour. Then afterwards, wind down, go out with some friends, relax a little bit, come back home, and relax until I go to sleep. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions or comments about interviews and the interviewing process, leave a comment down below. I'll try to do my best in order to get it back to you. Otherwise, keep learning, and I'll see you guys later.